Locally has doomed some, has disrupted daily lives and businesses' operation, affecting productivity and economic growth. It is time for the government to take responsibility and provide real solutions instead of deflecting blames. Before I tackle this issue, I am praying in my head that the power in the room will not go off. Yes, we have transitioned from excessive power to inadequate power thanks to talkatives who are mindless about the need to continually plan our energy resources and invest in them appropriately to avert the needless doomsday we are experiencing. Let us recall how the government brought us into this mess. In their first demonic greed, led them to form what they call Power Distribution Service, PDS. This organization was successfully used to siphon financial resources from the energy sector and vanish into thin air. As we speak, we are aware they heavily owe ECG, but no one knows how much and where the money is. Their activities led to the Millennium Challenge Compact withdrawing its $190 million support to the energy sector. Additionally, the excessive borrowing monies from this government did not factor addressing the problem of the sector. We should be asking what ESLA is being used for as well, and why we owe independent producers millions of dollars, which is straining their production capacity. You and I pay our electricity bill upfront, prepaid. We pay prepaid. An efficient management system should be made to be able to avoid the situation we are in today. In a few weeks, we are going to be saddled with increment in tariffs, but doomsday is not going away. Just last week, many parts of the country experienced long periods of blackout, leaving citizens without electricity for hours. This is not the first time we have seen this happen. In fact, doomsday has become a recurring issue in Ghana, causing businesses to suffer, disrupting daily lives, and damaging our economy. This cannot continue. The effect on Ghanaians. The effect of doomsday on Ghanaians are devastating. Many businesses have been forced to shut down due to the high cost of running on generators, resulting in job losses and economic hardship for families. Students are unable to study due to the lack of electricity. Some media houses, some of you, have to close down for a period of time. Hospitals are struggling to provide necessary care to patients. It is a shame that our government has allowed this crisis to affect the lives of the citizens in such a negative way. My call to government. I am calling on government to stop their arrogance and take immediate action to solve the power crisis. We cannot continue to live in darkness while our leaders turn a blind eye. It is time for real solutions, not empty promises and excuses. We demand that the energy minister and his staff be held accountable for the management of the ECG, and that competent individuals with a track record of success be appointed to lead the company. The power crisis, or doomsday, is a national issue that requires urgent attention, action from the government, and we will not sit idle by while our country suffers. The All People's Congress urged the government to put the interests of the citizens first and work towards providing a sustainable and a reliable power supply for all. If they cannot manage ECG, I am ready to take over, privatize it, and I will buy it. Recent flooding. Currently, we are in the rainy season. The perennial floods are occurring and taking several lives and destroying properties. The government has lost any acumen in addressing the problem beyond awarding contracts for dredging and siphoning funds from it. How can we stop the floods with this attitude? Waste management has become a burden despite the huge resources government commit to it. Most of our gutters are choked with filth. You cannot drive through the rains in Accra. The capital that was touted to become the cleanest city in Africa under this government, we need a rethink. For 8 years, when they have failed and are leaving, they say it is possible. What is possible? The recent flood in the city is very alarming and needs urgent attention. Yet the government has neglected to take appropriate action. One may say the government has not neglected the issue. They do not prioritize the well-being of Ghanaians. How can we trust a government that approved $200 million in 2019 to create a drainage system, and 5 years down the lane, the drainage is still not constructed? Where has that money gone? It is unacceptable that the government cannot account for such a large amount of money that was supposed to be used to protect our citizens from suffering disasters. We in the APC want to state categorically clear that the government does not have the best interests of Ghanaian people at heart. The rate at which properties and lives are being lost due to flooding is heartbreaking. And yet the government seems not to care. It is clear that both the NDC and the ruling party, NPP, has no interest in finding lasting solutions to this pressing issue. They have failed to fulfill their promises and have neglected the safety and well-being of our people. Therefore, we are calling on all Ghanaians to join hands with us and vote for the APC in the upcoming election. We are the only party that has the best interests of Ghanaians at heart. We will prioritize the urgent construction of drainage system and ensure that proper measures are put in place to prevent future floods. We will not sit back and watch our people suffer while the government continues to neglect their duties. It is time for a change. We need your support to make it happen. Let us come together, show the government what we will not accept, and we will not accept their negligence any longer. The recent flood in our country, capital, is just one example of how the government has failed us. We cannot afford to have them in power for another term. The APC is the only party that prioritizes the well-being and safety of all Ghanaians. Huge debt, huge debt, huge debt. Gentlemen of the press. Another pressing issue that threatens the economic stability and prosperity of our nation, Ghana. The alarming increase in Ghana debt stock is a cause for concern, and it is imperative that immediate action be taken to address the crisis. Needless to say, though, we have seen our debt stock rise from 120 billion Ghana cedis in 2017 to 638 billion now. But what do we see? Less development from much borrowing. Major infrastructure projects have been left uncompleted and created serious inconveniences. You can mention the Palgu multipurpose dam project, the Nungwa Road, Pont Barrier project, Pram Junction project, Bishabi Lamte and Takoradi PTCL interchange had few examples. The Tema Akosombo Road, Tema Mino Road, Tema Motorway, and many others are all in limbo after noisy short-cutting years ago. And I believe you don't want to know the harrowing experience of driving on those roads. The root of this crisis lies in the combination of unnecessary borrowing and mismanagement of government funds. The lack of accountability and transparency in government operations has only aggravated the situation, leading to a balloon debt that poses a significant threat to our nation's financial well-being. It is crucial that the government conducts a comprehensive audit of all government loans and expenditure to identify areas of inefficiency and potential mismanagement. This audit will provide valuable insight into the current state of Ghana's finances and help guide future decision-making process. In addition to this audit, measures must be implemented to increase transparency and accountability in financial management. This includes establishing clear guidelines for the allocation and use of government funds, as well ensuring that all financial transactions are properly documented and reported. Fiscal discipline and responsible borrowing practice are also essential in addressing Ghana's debt crisis. The government must prioritize sustainable financial practices that do not burden future generations with excessive debt. This requires careful planning to ensure that funds are used wisely in the best interest of the Ghanaian people. Those responsible for mismanaging funds must be held accountable for their actions. It is unacceptable for individuals to misuse public funds for personal gain, and steps must be taken to ensure that such behavior is not tolerated within the government. As a concerned political party, we demand the government take immediate action to address Ghana's debt stock. Our nation's economic future depends on the decision made today, and it is our responsibility to hold our leaders accountable for their actions. Together, let us stand united in demanding a better future for Ghana. We owe it to ourselves, our children, future generations to ensure that Ghana's economy is managed with prudence and accountability. Corruption and mismanagement of resources. Another issue of corruption and mismanagement of resources in Ghana, which has led to widespread economic hardship and suffering. The exorbitant cost of living, including the skyrocketing price of fuel and other essential goods and services, has further increased the struggles of the Ghanaian people. Corruption and resource mismanagement has long plagued Ghana, perpetuating a lack of accountability and transparency in government operations. This has resulted in ineffective resource utilization, hindering economic growth and development. The consequences are stark, with ordinary citizens struggling to make ends meet and provide for their families. The high cost of living, particularly the escalating prices of fuel, has made it even more challenging for Ghanaians to afford basic necessities. This has created a vicious cycle of poverty and hardship that is different to escape. Therefore, we demand the government take concrete and immediate action. 1. Tackle corruption and ensure accountability at all levels of government through strengthening anti-corruption laws and institutions and holding accountable those who engage in corrupt practices. 2. Implement effective resource management strategy to stimulate economic growth, investing in infrastructure, education, healthcare, and sustainable development practice. 3. Introduce policies to reduce the cost of living, making essential goods and services affordable for all Ghanaians, including reducing taxes on essential goods, providing subsidy for basic necessity, and increasing access to affordable healthcare and education. Desperate promises by NDC and NPP. Desperate promises. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ghanaians, it is important for us not to fall for those desperate promises made by those two political figures. Let us not forget, former President John Dramani Mahama has been president before and made numerous promises during his time in office. However, he was not able to fulfill them, yet he comes to make more promises. On the other hand, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, as vice president and running mate, made grand promises during their campaign for office. But since becoming the second in command, he and his boss have failed to fulfill those promises and have instead mismanaged our economy and still making unnecessary promises. Promises have failed us. Promises have failed us. Yet, both of them have the audacity to stand before the people of Ghana and make more promises upon promises. And we have seen their track record, and it's evident they have not been able to deliver on their promises. That is why I am urging you, fellow Ghanaians, not to fall for this desperate attempt to gain votes instead. I implore you to consider a young man with a vision, a leader who has Ghanaians at heart, a leader who has shown immense dedication and has put massively a striving Ghana, and that is Dr. Hassan AYARIGA. I, Dr. AYARIGA, has proven myself as a leader who is committed to the betterment of our country. I have a clear vision for the future of Ghana, and I have shown that I have the capabilities to bring about real change. So, my fellow Ghanaians, I urge you not to be swayed by the empty promises of these two political figures, but instead consider a leader who has the passion, drive to move our nation forward. Put your trust and hope in me, and together we'll build a strong country, Ghana. APC policies. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, let me brief you with some policies of the All People's Congress to the great people of Ghana. Our vision is to transform Ghana into a prosperous and a developed nation, where every citizen has access to opportunity and a decent standard of living. Our policies are designed to achieve this vision. Firstly, we will implement an economic lockdown to prevent capital flight, grow to consume, and increase productivity and ensure that Ghana's resources benefit Ghanaians. This will help in stabilizing the economy and promote local businesses. Secondly, we will establish a national database to ensure accurate data collection and informed decision making. This will help in better planning and implementation of policy. Thirdly, we will develop a national development plan to guide Ghana's development and ensure sustainable growth, and this will provide a roadmap for the country's progress. Furthermore, we will prioritize Ghanaians' interests through our Ghanaian First policy, ensuring that our citizens benefit from this nation's natural resources. This will help in promoting local industry and creating jobs opportunities for Ghanaians. We also aim to promote a mindset shift from dependency to self-reliance and entrepreneurship through our change of mind policy. We need to change our minds. Mindset is our problem. If we do not change our mindset, even if Jesus come back, Ghana will still suffer. If the Prophet Muhammad come back, we will still not find a way. We need to change our mindset. This will empower individuals to take control of their own economic well-being. Additionally, we will establish Ghana as a hub for production, manufacturing, and industry through our production, manufacturing, and industrial hub policy. This will create jobs, drive economic growth in the country. Moreover, we will implement programs to create decent jobs for Ghana's youth through our Job for the Youth policy. This will empower the younger generation to contribute to the nation's development. We will also introduce the 24-hour economy and the 3-shift system to maximize productivity and efficiency in various sectors. This will help in boosting economic growth and create more opportunities for Ghanaians. Furthermore, we will leverage technology to enhance governance, transparency, and accountability through our e-governance policy. This will help in improving the efficiency of government operations and services. Lastly, we will work towards economic dependency by reducing Ghana's reliance on foreign aid and promote self-sufficiency. This will help in strengthening the country's economy and ensuring a brighter future for our nation. In conclusion, very important. Ladies and gentlemen, had to go because of 4 cedis to $1. Then I don't know why Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is running for president at 16 Ghana cedis to $1. 2, I want to advise Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the MPP to concentrate in finishing the 8 rather than breaking the 8, because there's no 8 to break. 3, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia should know that Ghanaians don't have short memories. The suffering is real and escalating, so he should stop the jokes. Number four. Take note of number 4. Dr. Bawumia, please stop crying for the steer. The car is not a toy. Stop crying for the steer. The car is not a toy. Number 5. The steer was given to you and your boss, and you both drove into a different direction. When the steer was given to them, instead of building Ghana, they destroyed Ghana. Instead of transforming Ghana, we're in crisis. So you don't need the steer anymore. You went to a different direction. The main direction of focusing on building Ghana, you didn't do it. So stop crying for the steer. The car is not a toy. It's a real car. Number 6, you have lost credibility as a party and as a candidate. No good policies, deceit and propaganda. Your only option left is vote buying. Because you have no credibility. No Ghanaian will vote for you. If you buy votes, maybe you'll get. But I don't think 2024 is for MPP or NDC. Number 7. Dr. Bawumia should watch his slogan. It is possible. Ghanaians are not listening to you anymore. You have inflicted pains and suffering on us. It is possible. Has no chance. Rather, use that resources and change the narratives. Number 8. Our nation has become a banana republic under your watch, and it is pathetic, Mr. Vice President. Do not continue to hold yourself as an MPP presidential candidate. You have no chance against Hassan AYARIGA. I am starting my campaign activities in the 16 regions tomorrow. We will arrive in Boku on Thursday morning, launch the campaign at Boku, and then move to other surrounding communities in the area. Then we'll move to different regions after. The itinerary of the campaign will be shared with you shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, I want to thank you all again for your attention and dedication to sharing the truth with the public. Your role in shaping the narratives and informing the public is vital, and we appreciate your comment to seeking truth and transparency. As we move forward, we call on the government to take swift and decisive action to address the issues we have discussed today. We urge them to prioritize the welfare and safety of our citizens and to work towards creating a more just and equitable society for all Ghanaians. To the general public, I ask that you join us in this effort. Together we can make a difference and create a brighter future for ourselves and for generations to come. I thank you very much for coming. God bless Ghana and God bless all of you. Thank you very much. TV FM. Maxwell, the EC has if I want to talk about everything, I'm sure we'll be here for the next 5 hours. So sometimes we try to limit the kind of policy so that when you ask questions like this, we can just use the few minutes to answer. Yes, EC has been doing the transfer. And for me, I am not entirely satisfied with the process of the transfer. Why? Because I have observed and I've seen and I've heard from my own party members across the country that certain political parties are transferring delegates and voters from their stronghold where they have so much votes to places where they do not have less vote in order to win. But the laws of the EC says before you transfer a vote to a particular place, you must have well lived in that place for a period of, let's say, 10 years or even a year plus. These people don't live there. That this is voter manipulation. EC is allowing them to do that without asking questions and making sure that it is done properly. You cannot just say because I'm in Ashanti region and in Swami, I have 100,000 votes and the second party gets 2,000. The third party has 500. So if I have 100,000 votes, I can win in Swami. Let me transfer 50,000 out of Swami and distribute them to places I have less votes so that I can win those seats. Or I lost by 1,000. So the MPP can send 2,000 votes, maybe to Volta region or to Upper East, where they lost by 1,000 in order to win that seat. What are we doing to ourselves? Why is the EC accepting? So these are the things I don't believe and agree the EC is doing a good job. They should monitor. Very few people can transfer and must give reasons for the transfer. You don't just open period for transfer and people just are transferring without reasons. I lived in Germany before. If I want to transfer my vote or something, I must show the reason why I'm transferring. Do we have those reasons? No. We are just doing the transfer. And this is bad for our democracy. Democracy needs upgrades. Democracy also needs we taking proper action and doing the right thing. Number two, you asked whether I said if President Mahama becomes president, it will be the worst. If not only President Mahama, even if Bawumia becomes president, it will be disastrous. President Mahama will be the worst, but Bawumia will be a disaster. You know why? Currently, President Mahama has been president before. And the situation is that where we find ourselves as a country is bad. Our economic situation is bad to the extent that anybody becoming president from the two of them will continue to live. At least question. But let me go to Morrison. 24 hours. Morrison, if you take our manifesto from 2016 to 2020, we have stated categorically clear a 24-hour production, manufacturing for businesses and companies and individuals, and a 3-shift system. The 3-shift system, I think the MPP or the NDC are not explaining it well, and the MPP too are struggling to understand. The 3-shift system is said that you work 8 hours in the morning, 8 hours in the afternoon, and 8 hours in the evening. That 8 hours times 3 make it a 24-hour cycle revolution. So that gives you a 3-shift system. Those who go morning is called the first shift. Those who go afternoon is called the second shift. And those who go third is called the third shift. That is the reason why I call it the 3-shift system. The MDC calls it 24-hour economy. I am not calling it a 24-hour economy. There is nothing called a 24-hour economy. It is called a 24-hour production. You running concurrently, everybody dividing your workforce into 3 groups. Some coming in the morning, those who go in the afternoon, and those I have done it, I have worked it, I've lived with it in Germany for more than 20 years. And I know what the 3-shift system is. So it is not a policy of the NDC. We adapted it. But because you, the media, you are more concerned about policies of NDC and MPP rather than APC, you don't even say it. And when they say it, you are eager to hype it. When I'm talking about economic lockdown, none of you have asked the question of economic lockdown, what it means. But an economic lockdown is what you should be asking. What is the meaning of economic lockdown, Mr. AYARIGA? Why are you saying economic lockdown? What does it mean? But if NDC has said they are going to have an economic lockdown, all of you would have taken it as a policy. Let me tell you, 24-hour economy, digitalization, these 2 policies cannot transform Ghana in any way. where we find ourselves, we need a revolutionary policies. And I'm answering Stanley now. My policies. First of all, we have designed 60 policies to change Ghana's economy. And our policy number one, Ghanaians first. All of you don't believe in yourselves. As Ghanaians, you go to the bank looking for a loan, and they see you as a Ghanaian, they won't give you. But let a foreigner come, he gets the loan. Contracts are awarded to more foreigners than to Ghanaians. We don't believe in our own citizens. So we are in a country, and foreigners take precedent over us in anything. How can we transform a country when we don't believe in ourselves? So the Ghanaian first must come first. In anything we do, a Ghanaian must come first before any other person. Awards of contract, jobs, schools, education, everything Ghanaian must come first. And that policy coupled with mindset change. We need to change our mindset. We have a mindset that we do not believe in patriotism, believing in ourselves. We have a block mindset. We need a software mindset, not a hardware mindset. That things can change, that we change our attitude, we change the way we do things, we begin to believe that this is our only country. We are not running out of this country. We believe that if this government is not performing, change the government. Don't be stagnant in changing NDC and MPP. Don't be an NDC, how do I want to put it? Food soldier. Be a Ghana's food soldier. That this is your country. If these people are not performing, I will change. If this one is not performing, I will change until I get the right leader to transform my country. Change your mindset. Let's build a special mindset that we accept each other, know the faults we find, and change these faults and change the leaders who do not transform us. So in that, then we need a national database. Look, we are here. When I said Ghana is a banana economy, you didn't know. You didn't ask. We do not have data of anybody here, all of you. There's no data about you. In Ghana, you call Ghana Card a data. Ghana Card is just a registration of card. But there's no data. If I key your name into the system, there is nothing about you that will come. Which system am I going to key in? Which system? If I ask the president, tell me the number of people you have in this country, he can't tell me. He will be calling statistical department to say, because there is nothing for the president to rely on and build this country. So we need a national data system that will capture every information of every Ghanaian, right from your date of birth, where you work, your salaries, your bank accounts, your data, facial recognition, the number of houses you have, the number of cars you have, every information about you must be captured into details. And having the data, the moment I key your name, Kweku answer, date of birth. If I key Kweku answer, it will give me so many Kweku answers. Date of birth, 4th September, it will give me whether you, or if it doesn't give me, then I'll key your card number, it will give me the information. But we don't have it. So how are we developing? So you see, I'm answering your question, Stanley. Are you listening very well?
Yes.
That is how different mine is from them. So I'm taking you through. From the national database, we go to a national development plan. Now we have statistics. We have data. We have to begin to plan. How do we plan? How many students of agriculture do we want to produce? How many students of engineers? How many engineers do we want to produce as a country? How many lawyers do we need? Do we need lawyers? Yes. Do we need engineers? Yes. Do we need doctors? How many of them in a year? We don't just start and say all those who want to be lawyers should be lawyers. All those who want to be engineers should be. No. We must build this country according to the needs and wants that we need. We have to train our students to fit into society and not to become a burden to society. What we are training, burden to society. The students have no use because we did not train them for a purpose. We are training them for education. Everybody go to school. For what? What are you going to the school to do? You have to be specialized in something so that by the time you are the 3rd year and you are coming out, we know where you are going. By third year, we should know, because we are producing it to fit into the society we are trying to build. So the National Development Plan will give us that kind of statistics of students, engineers, professors, and so we know that this year we want 1,000 students to venture in agriculture, farmers. So we are going to train them. 1,000 of you go into farming. 5 of you are going into science. We don't need to train everybody. No, no, no. This is a country we want to build. Prepare them for the country and make them useful. And they won't become a burden. So if we want 1,000 military men, 500 police, 200 police, by third year, you are already getting your quota to become a policeman. You are getting your quota to become a military man. You are getting your quota to become a custom officer. All these have to be detailed. And we cannot do that when we don't have data, when we don't have planning. So you see, there's a lot of policies the APC has. And this is different from what you are seeing on a daily basis. The APC policies are not for winning elections. They are for building you up and preparing a country that we can challenge the rest of the world. We don't have to be thinking of how other countries manage our wealth. We have to begin to think, let's be self-sufficient. Let's be a production hub. Let's manage our city to the extent that $1, one city. So that we will also be rich people in our country. We don't need the American dollar for anything. So we begin to produce, manufacture. We begin to become an industrial hub. You cannot be saying one district, one factory when you don't have a production hub. What are you going to feed the factories? What are you going to feed the factories? Start with the production. So that food will become relatively very cheap in this country. But what do? All of you here, what do? Some of you didn't even want to be journalists. You are forced to become journalists because that's where you find a job. Is it not true? I speak my mind. You want vote, you want done, but that is the truth. It's a last option for some of you. But that is not your way. That is not your destiny. We have to begin to unearth your potentials to make you become productive to our country. We cannot just be training people, sending them to schools for what? To become burden to society? Even look, let me compare you, the formal sector to the informal sector, and you will see the difference. The informal sector, they are doing much better than you here. Why? You go to school, learn, pass exams, and you are holding a paper called certificate. That's what we know. Putin says that we train people to read English instead of training them to farm. They speak more English than their stomach are hungry. That's what we know. In Ghana, when you speak good English, you are the best person. Yes, that's all. So I'm telling you, the informal sector are doing much better. How? You come up with a certificate. You're not looking for jobs. Now let's take a mechanic, for instance, from the informal sector. This guy hasn't been to class 1, or maybe probably to primary school. And then from primary school, he jumps into becoming a mechanic. He's trained 3 years to become a mechanic. After 3 years, he's been passed out. The very day he's passed out, he's given tools as his passing out present. They present that one to him as a passing out present. This gentleman takes the toolbox. The next day, he goes looking for land in the community he lives. Clear the land, rent the land from the landowner, so it's temporary. Put a shade. Within 5 days, he's a mechanic. They're working, fixing your cars, fixing your motorbike, and making money. Same with hairdressers, seamstress. These people are more productive than the educated ones because they are the one managing Ghana and you are the one being a burden to them. So, you see that they have been trained to fit into society, but you have been trained to become a burden to society. So I will change the curriculum of education. I will change your educational standard. I will change the way you do things. I will change you completely. I will lock you down until we produce and become independent. Amen. We will lock down ourselves if we do not become an independent nation. No more donor. No more borrowing. No more foreign aid. We have to build ourselves, sacrifice to become engineers, sacrificed to become a powerful nation, so that tomorrow's generation will be happy of what we have done. But it is Hassan AYARIGA talking about lockdown. Nobody is shouting. Let John Mahama say economic lockdown tomorrow. And you will see all of, yay, the media houses, they are discussing. Every day is NDC and NPP. And you want a change. You want a third force. How do you get a third force? When you keep promoting NDC and NPP. Meanwhile, you don't like them. And look at the trend. This year, if some of us don't campaign very well, there will be serious voter apathy. Because most Ghanaians are tired. They do not want to vote anymore. But I'm telling you, don't stay at home and say you won't vote. Hassan AYARIGA is your hope and your option. Go out and vote Hassan AYARIGA. Don't vote NDC, don't vote NPP. And this will change our future. The next questions. Baku, the guy, issue of Baku. Young man, you see where I stand here today? I'm happy with a bottle of Coke. I come from Baku, and both factions fighting. I belong to both. Kusasi by father, Mampusi by mom. So my father is a Kusasi man, and my mother is a Mampusi man. So if your father and mother fighting, I'm not sure you want to give a stick to your father and give your mother a gun. Or give your mother a gun, your father a gun, and give your father a stick. What you can do is to call in elders to help you separate them. And this is what I have been doing over the period, and that is why it is relatively peaceful. We work from behind the scene so that nobody tags me and says, oh, he's doing this for the Mampris, oh, he's doing this for the Kudas. No. Some of us have made Baku a peaceful place, and that is why I am going to start from Baku to let them know that their son has come home and he's going to be their next president. We have 3 Northerners contesting to become president, and it's a serious, complex election. One is a Mampriti, one is a Kusasi, and one is a Gonja, all coming from different regions. But both of them have been in power before, so we're not going to waste so much time. We're going to concentrate on Hassan AYARIGA, who has not been in power. And I'm sure all of you will vote Hassan AYARIGA. Amen.
So you will take the next 3 questions, senior man.
GH1, no, GBC, NDPPC. You see, they have drawn a national development plan. I don't know what went into their national development plan, but I am not developing a national development plan keke. Don't listen to me very well. I am using the data, the national data system that I'm going to build to do my national development plan. If it matches with their own, we don't mind integrating it because it's all for good of Ghana. But you cannot develop a plan without the data. What do you want to produce? What do you want Ghana to be? What do you want to achieve? Those plans must be inculcated in what you do. You need a data to be able to plan. You don't plan without the data. I don't know what data they use to plan, whether they want to build roads or just, no. We must have specifics in doing the things we do, and we must do it right. We've done that before. Nkrumah National Development Plan, what do you call it, NDC National Development Plan. What did we achieve from it? There was nothing. Please. AYARIGA's policies are totally different. Me, I'm ruling for 4 years, and after 4 years, you will see, I don't need to be president. Anybody can be president. Because I will build institutions that will work, and a president will not become a ceremonial one, not to do anything. Thank you. Then the GH1, politics. Let me tell you, we are all not the same people. If you continue to vote and recycle NDC, and they make promises, and it's not favoring us, why don't you change them? You have the power to change, yet you keep recycling them. And don't forget, if you have 2 phones, Samsung and whatever, and the one is spoiled and you don't like it, you put it away. The next one you pick is spoiled, you don't want. Then you go back and pick the first one that is spoiled. Who is deceiving who? That is what you people are doing. When you vote NDC and they are not good, you change NDC, you vote MPP, they are not good. You go back and pick NDC again. Why do you go back and pick them? You are the problem, not they. We are presenting ourselves. I'm here.
showing credibility.
I am sure you do they have credibility now? The NDC and the MPP, do they have credibility? They only buy votes now. There is no credibility. Tell me what they have performed that you give them credit. What? Apart from corruption and mismanagement. Where's the credibility? Is the credibility you will be standing here? You would have been if they are credible, all of us will not be here. We would have been doing something because we don't need another person to be president. But because they are not, that is why we are here. We are here because they have failed us. We are here because they have mismanaged our country. Look at our debt stock. What do we have to show? Have you seen my road there? I bought machines. Go to the next place. You will see 3 equipment, graders. I bought them in 2013 to do this road. Government said that they have 2017 to do this road. Government said they have awarded the contract. Up to now, those equipment are parked there. Go and see them. They are parked. They are almost spoiled. This is somebody who wants to contribute to his own community, and you refuse. Are we credible? Do you know how many people can do that in their own communities? But government refused. So the machines are parked there, in front of my house. Look at my road, AYARIGA's road. Are you happy? Do you think this is developed in the center of the main city, capital city? This is what we experience every day. Somebody will come and pass here and say, AYARIGA's road. You have not done it. I'm not the government, but I wanted to do it, but the government refused. So this is what we find ourselves. So if somebody is not doing the right thing, for God's sake, please change the person. And I am a different kind of politician. Maybe you don't know, but you vote me, and you see, I am not interested in your money. I am not, that is why I am not interested in your money. I am interested, look, I get sad when I travel abroad. When I see foreigners treating us like we are nothing. When we disgrace ourselves when we travel abroad. When people see the black color as people who do not have common sense. When we have wealth and we give it out to foreigners and our own people are suffering. When all our natural resources have been taken away. Neocolonialism, the issue of former President Nkrumah. This is what is happening. Now we are not being enslaved. We bring them to. So you see, we are the problem. And if we don't change our mindset, forget it, brother. Forget it. And it's lies on all of you to change your mindset. Number Fred, if you are worried about implications, then you should be worried about the many judgments that we have been paying for nothing and without resource. If you begin to lock down your country, you are not stepping on anybody's toe. You are saying that, listen, I am not interested in your goose anymore. I do not want anything from you. My country is struggling and suffering. We want to change our own narratives. We want to lock down and build our country. When we are done building our country, we will begin to trade with you. Is that a crime? Is that a crime? It shouldn't be a crime. Am I right? It should be a negotiation, a discussion, and they will understand and respect that. That is why I'm saying that if Mahama comes, it will be worse. If Bamia comes, it will be disastrous. And if Hassan AYARIGA comes, it will be better. Because I will plan and sit down with all these power brokers and tell them this is I want for my country. You should stand on your feet and sell the word what you want. If not, we can't change our country. We become beggars. And that is what we are doing. We are beggars. Then what again? I think I've answered your question.
Yes, I was asking between the devil and the deep blue sea.
Who is the devil and who is the deep blue sea?
Oh, the two.
No, I don't know. You tell me the devil first, and I know who is the devil.
Based on the analysis.
I mean, who is the devil? Please, who is the devil in the two political parties?
You know by yourself.
Huh? You should tell us so that we all.
Because you are saying that. Both
No, you tell me. Look, I am telling you, 2024, the devil and the blue seed will not see the front line. That's the answer to you. Don't be in the front line. If they be in the front line, then you have made that mistake.
In that likelihood.
There won't be any likelihood of that. Please don't promote it. It will not work. Fast, it won't work.
Last question, senior man.
Our city will always depreciate for life. But with our lockdown policy, that is going to make us a production and a manufacturing house, we will begin to produce enough so that the foreign exchange will not spend so much. We'd rather be bringing more foreign agents than importing. So still become very serious for a very long time. Past presidents and leaders have not concentrated on that. What they do is short-term measures, like you said. What do? Let's change the city. Let's change this. Let's do that. These are just temporal things that you do to mitigate the problem you are facing. But it doesn't even solve the temporal problem because it escalates. So find the solution, find the methodology to resolve it by becoming a production and a manufacturing hub and an industrial nation. You will see that constantly. You don't need dollar to go anywhere. They have to come and buy. Look, what can't we produce in this country? Well, we're lazy. The cloth you're wearing, we can do. The shoes, we can do. The glasses, we can do. The phone, we have the best leather. You can do leather bag. If you train, like I said, the national data system, if we train our boys to be engineers, to be manufacturing mobile phones, cameras, and all that, do you think we're going to be importing cameras anymore? But we just feel we are always confident, satisfied with anything. We get satisfied with anything. And that is why we are where we are. We don't even know that we are rich. We don't even know that we can be on the scale of the world number one. When I met the Sheikh of Dubai, the main Sheikh of Dubai, he told me, AYARIGA, I want to be number one in the world. So I don't copy. I invent. I do things my way. And that's why Americans will come and see what I have done better than the other. He went to Nigeria to borrow money. Obasanjo told him that his country is a desert. Why would he borrow money? That time Obasanjo was president. And he went to England to borrow money. Look at Dubai today compared to Nigeria. Nigeria is rich but corrupt. They are not rich, but they have made their country a rich nation and a tourist nation. And they are making so much. Their oil is almost finished. But what do you think they are getting? They've diverted from oil into tourism. But what do? We have oil, we have gold, we have diamond. We have given it to foreigners and we are sitting down in our homes and becoming beggars. Let's continue. Your infrastructure roads. The next one. I didn't say anything about it. I can't say all the things. Like I said, you will have time to listen to it. But the point is that government has deserted, I said it, they deserted, yes. We deserted after 2024 election. Don't leave your party and go and follow Alan Mandela. It's a movement. And after 2024 elections, all movements cease to work. That's the end of them. So let's be serious here. If you want to be a strong leader, form a party, because that's part of leadership. That is leadership. So for me, any movement called movement, I am not part of it, and I will never join a movement because my party is bigger than a movement. I am a political party. I have championed the cause of bringing political parties together to form a third force. But over the period, some of these political parties seriously are not serious. Seriously are not serious. And that has been the problem. It is better to be a shareholder, a 10% shareholder of $1 million company, than to be a 100% shareholder of a $10,000 company. I've told them, let's come together. 10 parties, elect one flag bearer from the 10 political. Every political party should bring one flag bearer. Put the 10 flag bearers together and elect one flag bearer to become the alliance party. Still keep your party, but let's vote for the alliance political party. Today, this party is in court. Tomorrow, this party, they are fighting. The next day, this one have sacked all their members. How are you going to get alliance? Huh? How? CPP is in court, PNC is in court, PPP, I don't know whether they exist again. And all that PPPs, I don't know whether they So let's be serious. Let's be serious. I wish there was more serious for us to form a third force. I am willing. I don't mind not being a presidential candidate for the Alliance Party. What I want is to put my policies, the policy that will change this country in place. And I don't believe NDC and MPP can put this policy. They've already messed up their front. So they have a blacklist in the minds of Ghanaians. So I wish everybody well. And I thank you for coming. 2024 is around the corner. Please, 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 don't vote NDC. Please, don't do it. Think about your sufferings today and think about your children tomorrow and see whether they have a future. Change your mindset. Your mindset is a software, it's not a hardware. So change it. Thank you very much.
True Green Foods. Ghana yenuane ayedi ya na wo mo refine no to the extent say ye carbohydrate na yedi ni bebre no afrim. Enti ye boa wo control o sugar level. Enti obi a wo pese wunyi eche a ye nkoka so anya diabetes menni we ewiase wanyi a obetumi adi bibia na sabre de be kan jure say menni bibia ho Mr. True Green Foods ne de sabre a wo ahode ne dibi na emwa ma ahode no enka ho abra wanyi obi a onim so diabetes, hypertension, pressure ne kidney ne niam ni nyina no ka che ne so ni True Green Foods na be boa na correct sa niam enyina wo mo US nti ufa number no a na oni wo mo adi nkomo na wo mo ahyepo bi di abro ba bia wo bia e be boa na watumi anyi ache enti no order bi wo mo breakfast, lunch, supper ni nyina different types of nnuane a wo betumi adi na a correct wapomuden no e de ama tap send say wo yo obi a wo pese wo mani sika de ba fie Ghana ha na unya rate say a sika na rate na basoro sa no na unya de emu edu correct na wo enjoy the project de ma abusia tap send download the app ne say Europe any UK wallet system na sha say ye adwuma ho until download do a ye bisa promo code KOFI TV shem eno ano no wo betumi asend sika e de aba fie a wonya challenge bia e very easy to use tap send and on the best to say yen charge you hwe and to take advantage of tap send. Italian solar technology say awia no bossa no a na me see enti awia na ehye kosekwa abra wo dan so betumi di solar panels aguso no anya anyinama hodin free me so for Italian solar technology sisi a na wo mo me fix solar e wo fie ho wo mo payment plan enti uni sika da ho a be che dia ma na otua na kakra akra untia light bill bio anu anu yedum kane a uni kane adum so bia ani asem take advantage na nya freedom kakra wo fie na ho aba na yedum light dey ya na ha adwen use Italian solar technology wo mo system no wo ba be fix bibia dia ma na atumi aboa wo na wanya anyinama hoden bribia that's for insurance Ghana for mo akwantum no mo mfra wo sesi a na mo insure mo ho if you say the best form ema woda wasumjo Ghana for wa bruchire no baby a wo bia ene wo mo nim komo that's for insurance wo be insure utimi insure abusuafo nso wo fie enti asem to wo mo a woni problem from na wo ma wo details ni nyina na woda ho a oyem an hyehyɛ wo say na asem si a na asem si a that's for insurance be twitwa na afi watumi agye Malata African market ope Ghana aduane edi Ghana ntoma afria Ghana nsa anom Ghana anything Ghana a wo hwehwɛ no Malata African market be ma obi na watumi ato e wo Bronx New York enti hwehwɛ wo mo akiri kwan sisi a wo Bronx New York no weekend ne dey me say ya mo call pa but weekday no so no wo betumi kra frɛ wo mo na wo mo deliver e de amount take advantage rapid courier ebia na wato niam bia opese duru fie ntem e de ma oh 3-5 days na ba bedu rapid courier e de niam na beba e ba nso Akotoka International Airport straight na ba besi na akwaje opa e be deliver de abro wo aboboa no enti ade bia opese duru fie ntem so fa wo number no rapid courier for number no wo mo Europe and afa US ti me frɛ me misame na abra kofi na oka rapid courier anything no frɛ wo mo sisi a utumi to niam akra e use wo mo as recipient address and especially niam a ship from Ghana no mo ship am wo mo 3 days na ba bedru Ghana na wakwaje very simple and to take advantage of them na intimi emwa